Ready? Ready, guys?
Yes, sir.
Down the end there, you ready, Con? All right. All right, let's call the meeting of the Southington Planning and Zoning Commission for Tuesday, October 21st, 2025 to order. Dave, can you please call the roll?
Alternate Commissioner Salmieri. Alternate Commissioner Gaida.
Here.
Alternate Commissioner Ma. Alternate Commissioner Caird.
Here.
Commissioner Tedesco. Commissioner Sewell. Commissioner Coles.
Present.
Commissioner Britton.
Here.
Commissioner Chaplinsky.
Here.
Vice Chair Olowski.
Here.
And Chair Hammersley.
Hammersley's here. Commissioner Sewell and Tedesco, Ma, and Salmieri contacted me and let me know they weren't going to be here. Let's just seat Commissioner Gaida and Commissioner Caird in their place. And with that, we have a quorum. Can we all stand for the pledge of allegiance, please? I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If you could all remain standing for a moment of silent reflection, please. Okay, thank you. Item number 6 on our agenda, I'm looking for a motion to approve our minutes from the last meeting on October 7th, 2025. Commissioner Wolowski,
So moved, Mr. Chair.
we have a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Commissioner Gaida with the second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 7, Commissioner discussion, is there anything? Todd, did you give us an update on the POCD open house? You guys have we done that?
I think I did last
Okay.
time, and Jen was, I
Right.
mean, yeah, I can give you a few sentences if you want.
Sure, yeah, go for
Yeah,
it.
so we had our open house back in September. We had about 25, 30 people that came by to give us their thoughts about how they feel the next decade for town should go. SLR, our consultant, came by. They had several different stations in which people could attend and, provide their feedback. They understood the POCD process in general. Our next move is to assess the results of the town survey that went out, the feedback that, we received as a result of the meeting that we had in September, and move forward with some updates to the POCD in general. There will be another broader, like a second community input forum. And Dave, I think we're moving it to January, right? Because in the schedule it says April, but I believe
Right.
we're potentially moving it to January to
Correct.
accommodate timing and stuff. So anybody who didn't come to the first one in September, feel free to, we're going to get in the works the timing for the second one in January. There will definitely be several communications that go out around that time. So if it's something you're interested in, feel free to reach out. We can give you details, but that's kind of where we're moving, so.
Okay. Thanks, Todd. And I underscore what he said. Involvement in the POCD will determine the direction that this town takes for the next 10 years, so it's very important and a great opportunity for members of the public to especially weigh in on where we want to see our town in 10 years. So please take the time to do that if you haven't done it already, and if you've done it already, do it again. Anyone else? No? Okay. Item 8, Chairman's comments. I usually save this for the end, but I'm going to do it now. I'll take the prerogative to do this now. On March 15th, 2016, I became a commissioner on this body. I sat right about where Kat is right now. And I remember walking in the door and thinking, what the heck is going on? But over time, I've learned many, many things. And it's been with the support of a lot of different people. So I want to recognize those folks. 203 meetings later, here we are, and this is my last one. I won't be up here again. I'll probably be out there somewhere doing something. The people that I've had the fortune to work with, all the people up here as well as other previous members, I just want to, I'm not going to name all over 25 different commissioners. I'm not going to name all 25 of them, but I will highlight a couple people that I especially have looked forward to their advice and their recommendations and suggestions. And, you know, again, just reading those off real quickie, Victoria Triano, Colleen Clark, John Leary, and Paul Chaplinsky. I've had the honor of serving with those folks on the committee of chairs, which meets maybe like 3 times a year. But just hearing the way that they do things and watching the way they do things has really been a pleasure for me and sort of taught me what I liked about the way they did things and what I didn't like about the way they did things. So I've used that. In addition, I've had a number of people who have served on this commission in the past or on other state or local boards or commissions. I'm just gonna name 4 people that I just wanna give a shout out to, and those are Frank Kennefic, who was a former chairman of the Planning and Zoning Commission back in the 90s and maybe even the early 2000s. Mike Del Santo, who was my predecessor up here. John Barry, who's a friend of mine, who used to be the chairman of the town council, and also Joe Arasimowicz, who was the former Speaker of the House and the state representative from Berlin. They've all, when I've called them, they picked the phone up, given me the time to talk to me about whatever's going on, and I appreciate that. Staff, Dave LaValle, I've been through 3 commissioners, or 3 planners, right? So I started off with Rob Phillips, who some of you might remember, Marianne Edwards, and then Jeremy DiCarlo as well. Dave LaValle has filled in between each one of those. And I said to him earlier today that I really appreciated the work that he's done with us and how he's been supportive, and I like his style. Is it to say that I don't hope that we get a planner soon, which I'm sure Dave probably does, and maybe even his family probably does more than he does, but I really appreciate the work that he's done for me and with me, and how he's been able to give me information to make me look like I know what I'm doing up here, which is sometimes the case. But on top of that, and I'm gonna finish up with this, but we are all volunteers on every board and commission in the town of Southington. No one gets paid, no one gets any money, no one gets any special privilege for being people who serve on the Planning and Zoning Commission, although I would joke about it sometimes. It never happens. But we're here and we give our time and our talents to this town to try to make it better. Doesn't mean that we always do things right. I certainly am not someone who thinks that every vote that I've cast has been the right vote necessarily. I know though, however, that I've not always been wrong either. So I think I've done a pretty good job, and time will judge whether that's true. But our families really are the people who sort of stand behind all of us and really give us the opportunity to come up here on every 2 weeks to do whatever we're going to do. And sometimes those meetings last until midnight, and sometimes like tonight, I think we'll be done within an hour. So, but I will remind everybody, by the way, that I do hold the record for the shortest meeting in town history, which is 4 minutes and 44 seconds. So I encourage you all to let that stand, let that be my legacy. But yeah, I got it for you, Rob. I'll share it with you anytime. So I just want to take a minute just to recognize those folks, and I will name them by name: Kelly Wolowski, Sarah Britton, Tara Chaplinsky, Elaine Salmari, Aaron Coles, John Ma, Jonathan Gorman, and Milo, AKA Mr. Cat Keard. That will become official later on this week, I believe, so congratulations to her, and also to John Gaida as well. And I would be remiss. Sorry. My family, Lisa and Will, who are out in the audience there, you see them over there in the corner, as well as my other older kids, Allie, Jack, and Ian, have stood by me. Listen to me when I have those tough days. And I think that some of it, first of all, I appreciate them, the world of them. I think the world of them, and they really have been fantastic. I think that my son might be in line to be a zoning enforcement officer because he knows the sign regulations back and forth. So we drive around town and he'll say, "That's not in compliance with the regulations." I go, "You know what, Will, you're right. Like, you know, you should call somebody and have them do something." Oh, okay, well, calm down a little bit, but let's go ahead. But you know, we all come from these meetings, and You know, some of them are good, some of them are a little bit more stressful. And we always go home to those people, and they're always there to support us. So I thank them, I thank my family, and I thank you for giving me the pleasure and the opportunity to sit here for the last 6 years as your chairman and try to do what I can do. 3 things I've always looked out for is the town, the commission, and all of you as members. It's always in that order, no offense, but you're the third one on the tier, but you're on the tier. And I think that, you know, going forward, that's sort of the role of the chairman is to look out for those 3 things and just to make sure that all of those are protected as best as they can be protected. And I'm sure that when this commission goes back in November, it will be a vibrant commission, and the people who will be sitting up here will be well suited to do the job that they have to do. Kat and I won't be here. I'll actually be out there because I have something coming in front of you, but at the same time, I appreciate all of you, and more importantly, I appreciate your families, and I appreciate my family, and I appreciate the members of the Southington, because they've really afforded all of us the opportunity to serve in this capacity and trusted us to do that. It's not something that we should hold lightly, and I never have, and I hope that none of you ever do, because that's something that is very important to me, is protecting the integrity of us as electors or electees, but the electorate is really someone that we're all here to serve. So God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. I tell my kids all the time, so you can do the math though. So again, thank you very much. We'll move on to item number 9 on the agenda. Our public hearing, 9A, John Frugrad, proposed additional attached 2-car garage exceeding the 3-space maximum for property located at 863 Old Turnpike Road. This is zoned in R 2025, SPU 721. John, you were with us 2 weeks ago, so I don't think you need to go through everything, but if there's any update you want to give us, by all means, go for it.
Okay, John Flugerad, 863 Old Turnpike Road, Plainsville. I submitted a updated plot plan. Hopefully it's a little bit clearer with more dimensions and to scale this time. I will be removing 2 things. I got a 40-foot construction container and a hoop house, which Dave informed me are zoning violations, so I'll be removing those as well with building this 28 by 32 garage. I don't know if you had any other questions for me.
John, any questions for the applicant?
Can I,
Steve?
it's not really a question, I just
Yep.
wanted to thank you. You put this, you did exactly what we asked.
Mhm.
I just wanted to see it
Yep.
so that we could put everything in
To- to
perspective and you understand
Yeah,
what we were asking for wasn't so unreasonable.
Yeah,
So thank you very much for your compliance.
no
And
problem. I'm not a drawer, so it took me about 6 hours. Plus, of course, nothing is square in my lot, so it took me forever to get it lined up.
That which doesn't destroy us, John, makes us stronger. So
Yeah.
look at you. Maybe you got a future in that, but
I hope not. I'm not
Yeah.
a big
I know.
fan of doing that kind of stuff.
I hear you. Okay, any other questions from members of the commission to the applicant?
Yeah, can I just get
Rob.
clear on, what exactly was it that planning and zoning department had said it was not up to code?
It was a construction container and a hoop house.
Construction container and a what?
Yes. A hoop house?
Hoop house?
Yes. Tarp house, whatever you want to call it.
Thank you, that's all I had.
No problem.
Anybody else? Okay, John,
All right.
take a seat. We'll open it up to the
Okay,
floor
thank you.
and see what happens. Any member of the public who'd like to come up and testify on this application, please approach the podium. Start with your name and your address and share your thoughts. No one? Okay, we're good. John, anything else you want to add?
No, I think I'm good.
Okay. Is there any reason to keep this public hearing open? Any commissioner have an opposition to us closing this? We will close it then. Okay. Item number 9B, looking for a table on this. Steve,
I'll make a motion to table SPU number 722.
do we have a second?
Second.
Commissioner Chaplinsky with a second. And the reason this is being tabled, I think, is it's still in wetlands, so we're waiting for them to do whatever they're gonna do before it comes before us. Any discussion on that motion? Rob,
Is there, looks like there's two items there.
sorry?
Should we do a motion? There's two items in the open.
That's in the business meeting, though.
Business
We're just in the
meeting.
public hearing right now.
I mean,
Yep,
According to this, it's in the public hearing.
that only talks about business meeting, though.
Public hearings, it's right here. This was tabled.
I must be missing something. Doing both.
Oh, I'm sorry. 722 and SPR 1905.
Yeah, no, that's the business meeting, though. We're not on that agenda item yet. We're still in the public hearing agenda item. So, yeah,
Just wanna make sure.
you're just getting a little ahead of us. We lag behind. Okay. No objection to tabling this?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 10, this is our business meeting, and we're looking at John Frogrod, proposed additional attached two-car garage exceeding the three-space maximum for property located at 863 Old Turnpike Road. This is zoned in R 2025. This is SPU 721. Do we have a motion? Steve?
I'll make the motion to
Rob?
approve SPU 721.
I'll second.
Is that Kat?
Yep.
Okay. So we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Any discussion? Seeing none, Dave, can you call the roll, please?
Commissioner Coles?
Yes.
Commissioner Britton?
Yes.
Commissioner Gaida?
Yes.
Commissioner Caird?
Yes.
Commissioner Chaplinsky?
Yes.
Commissioner Walowski?
Yes.
And Chair Amberson.
Hammers is a yes, motion carries 7-0. Congratulations, thanks for your patience and your work. Item 10B, Jim Kincawi? I'm not good at pronouncing names, but I look forward to not having to do that again. Proposed special permit application to redevelop an existing industrial building into a proposed restaurant with parking property located at 5 Atwater Street. This is owned in I-2, SPU 722. Do we have a motion to table this?
I'll make a motion to table SPU 722.
We have a motion and a second?
I'll second.
I'm giving it to Guide on this one. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, item 10C, same site, same location. This is a site plan application, SPR 1905. Do we have a motion to table this?
I'll make a motion to table SPR 1905.
We have a motion and a second.
Second.
Commissioner Chaplinsky with a second. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, item 10D, A&K Woodworking LLC, proposed site plan application for restaurant with alcohol service, property located at 22 Main Street. This is zoned in a central business zone, CB, SPR 1906. I am going to be recusing myself on this one. But Commissioner Walowski, you will take it, I will leave, and I will come back.
All right.
Good evening, Commissioners, if I may. Gregory Pietzu for the applicant, A&K Woodworking LLC, joined by my client here tonight. We are here to seek site plan approval for the adaptive reuse of the bank building at 22 Main Street. By way of background, and it's in the application materials, my client is under contract to purchase the property from the town of Southington. So the Southington is the current property owner. The town acquired the property in or about 2024 from Bank of America. The Bank of America branch, I believe, closed in 2022, and previous to that, it was a Fleet and a CBT and Southington Bank and Trust. When the town acquired the property, as part of the resale, there's really two things that I just wanted to touch on. Number one, the lot lines are going to be shifted around, and that's shown on a lot line revision plan that's in your packet. That was prepared by Cole Survey. That accomplishes a couple things. It pulls some of the parking spaces into town-owned parking. And then the other thing that happened as part of that is that the old drive-through right-of-way had been owned by the bank. So as part of this lot line revision, that drive-through is now going to remain a town-owned egress point, so that folks can drive out of the parking lots onto Main Street, and that will remain privately owned. So, as indicated, the purpose of the site plan application is to adaptively reuse the bank building as a new restaurant. When my client was under contract and negotiating with the town for the purchase of the property, that was the expressed preferred use of the property by the town. So that's why we are here. That will include alcohol service. We were in front of the ZBA last week as we require a special exception, and that was granted last week. So I can inform this commission that we do have that special exception in place. No live music is proposed at this time. I should hasten to add that my client is a builder and a developer, is not a restaurateur, so we are going to be finding an operator who will lease the property. The specific build-out of the property will be dependent upon the specific needs and uses of that proposed tenant. So we have not finalized the interior floor plan. What is in your packet is like a concept plan, just so that we could identify how it could lay out. We did a sort of a maxed out seating plan. I certainly don't think we're gonna have that many seats in the restaurant, but what we wanted to do was just kind of provide to the town and to staff, here's what this would maxed out look like. But like I said, I don't anticipate we're gonna have that many seats. In terms of the building footprint, there's really no changes to the building footprint. The building itself, the majority of it is single story, though there is a second story that I would say covers about a third of the building footprint. So the only real changes to the building itself will be, we're going to add a roof deck on the one-story portion of the building so that we can have exterior dining. This did come up last week. That's really not patio dining per se. It's just going to be outdoor on top of the existing building. And then the second bit of it is on the rear side of the building. We are adding a new staircase that will be for egress. That's shown on the floor plan, and we did submit today, which we just got from the architect, a supplement to the elevations. We had given you basically the front elevation and the southerly elevation. We've also added the rear elevation, so you can just sort of see a concept of what that exterior staircase is going to look like. We are probably going to be proposing some additional exterior lighting. That has not been drilled down. Obviously, we want to consult with the operator before doing that. The way that I know typically in a site plan, you would have a photometric plan and specification, but it's not going to be extensive, and it's certainly not going to be anything up on a pole. It's all going to be building mounted. So we propose to handle that with just a condition of approval that any exterior lighting be subject to approval by planning staff. What else can I tell you? We did seek and obtain a 100% parking waiver from the parking authority because we're in the central business zone and immediately adjacent to the town-owned parking lots. There was a engineering memo with a number of questions that we responded to, and we received confirmation from Mr. Oakes that our responses were adequate. And we've also replied to all the planning comments that are in the file. So we certainly understand that there are other steps to this, primarily when we come in for building permits that we're gonna have to address. But we are looking to close on the purchase of the property in a few weeks. So what we're really trying to do is get out of the way the high-level stuff in terms of the site plan approval and the special exception approval. And then obviously, we know that we're gonna have to deal with the water board, the water department and the health department, health district at the time that we come in for building permits. That's a summary of the application. I hope that you find it fairly straightforward. If you have any questions, we're happy to assist.
All right, well, thank you for your presentation. At this time, I'll open it up to the floor for any questions.
So what, you don't know what kind of a restaurant's gonna go into it yet?
We don't know.
correct? Okay. It's exciting.
Anyone else? Caleb?
Hi,
Hi.
thanks for bringing this application, it's really exciting.
Sure.
I do have some comments or questions that I hope you can give me some clarification on to move forward with this, based on the health department's comments.
Yes.
I saw that the health department's comments were less comments as much as an absence of any information that they have. And so the health department can't make an informed decision on either way to go without something else. So I'm gonna do my best to bring out my inner health department person. Maybe we can tweeze out some of the things that might come up in their questions.
Sure.
For the site plan, not about the inside.
Okay.
And that's what we're here for, and that's as far as we're gonna go. Waste disposal. Where are the garbage cans gonna go on this site that, if I'm looking at, and I do typically, we like to see some sort of a presentation with a picture so that we're not kind of fumbling through
Right.
our laptops. So it makes it a little bit more difficult for us to try to understand in a thorough way exactly what you're trying to get to us. But we'll pick through it one at a time.
Okay.
So I'm looking at the drawing that you provided with us. I see the hash marks for the parking area, and I see 2 squares to the rear of this, which I'm guessing is either the rear stairs, or that's where the garbage enclosure is gonna be. Why don't you tell me, what are you gonna do for trash removal?
You hit the nail right on the head. So what you're seeing on the let me back up for a second. So, how do I say it? So, this survey was prepared by the town. When I say by the town, the town hired Cole to prepare this, okay? And so, we did not, as part of our proposal to purchase the property, completely re-engineer the site. So we are relying on this survey that Cole did for the town. Drilling down on your question specifically. So what you're seeing, those 2 squares currently are 2 AC condenser units. We are gonna redo the HVAC in the building. Those are probably gonna be moved to the rooftop. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna use that space pretty much exactly as shown. We're gonna take down the existing chain link fence. We're gonna replace it with something opaque, probably vinyl or wood, that is gonna be much more aesthetically pleasing, and that's where the dumpsters are gonna go. That's the most logical spot because you have the ability to come in from the west, back in, and empty the dumpsters and keep them in place.
So I do see some challenges with that. One is for the restaurant, and again, I'm just looking at access to those garbage dumpsters. So those spaces are gonna remain parking. If someone's parked in there on at least as I'm looking at the drawing, the northern side, you're gonna restrict access to those. Secondly, if you're going to have some sort of a stockade fence or a vinyl partition that blocks them, which would be great because we don't want to see the garbage cans, the swing doors on those would be a concern too, because then we might even be losing another parking space. The last part about parking and how it relates to the garbage cans here is, and I don't know this because I haven't seen this particular part of the site and if it's gonna change at all, is are we gonna be adding handicap spots that are gonna be in relative distance to the facility so that the handicapped individuals can use that? And again, I guess this is more of a, how does the town wanna do it? Because I realize we're kind of in the middle ground here, but, are those 2 handicap spots gonna be taken away because we're trying to get garbage out of there?
So, sort of a two-part response.
Yeah,
So- It's okay. So, I anticipate it's gonna be a privately contracted dumpster service. They usually come out at like 7, 8 in the morning. So it's not like we're gonna be trying to be emptying dumpsters in the middle of dinner. Okay, so there's an operational issue that you've spotted, and I would say that the way that that's addressed is just the fact that the operator tends to pick up those dumpsters early in the morning, where there's not gonna be a lot of parking there. In terms of the handicap spaces, what I can tell you is you are seeing an area that you're right is crosshatched. So in addition to reducing the size of the parcel, everything basically to the left of the western facade is actually going to be now subject to a town parking easement. So even though we're gonna own the underlying fee, the town is gonna control that. So as it pertains to striping handicap spaces, the town's gonna control that, and the town will be able to stripe it however it wants.
Okay. All right, that was helpful, thank you.
Okay.
So then, let's move on to the stairs that and again, we're using your render drawing as kind of the template of how we're gonna do this.
Yes.
For the second floor, so that it looks like now we're not at where the condensers are, now we're moving down to the actual parking area.
Correct.
And that's where the stair system is gonna be installed. So that's gonna, again, jut out into the easement parking area. Two questions here.
It is, yes.
So that's more of a statement, because
Correct.
that's what's gonna happen. How much farther out, how far out is the build? And then what will be installed, and this is gonna be part of your property into the town's easement, but what's gonna be there to protect that stair system from collision?
So the answer to the first question is 8 feet. Okay, so you are going to, there is one, what I would call oversized parking space that's immediately next to the brick facade of the building. So you are gonna lose that space. And that's something that was flagged by Dave, and we've responded to that point. In terms of the installation of bollards, or something of that nature, I mean, we're open to that. So, I didn't want to come in and propose ugly concrete bollards that are painted yellow. I don't know if that's exactly what the commission's going for. If that's something that you want, we're certainly happy to have that a condition of approval that we install
And
some
we
sort
can
of
kind
bollard
of go
there.
back and forth, but I mean, traditionally, what we see in trying to protect these kind of uses is bollards or a wall of some sort, that if someone hits, and I can actually attest to this, if someone, because this happened to me on Block Island one time, almost got killed. If someone hits the gas instead of the brakes and jumps that curb, which is, a 6-inch curb, they're gonna go through something, and if someone's walking down those stairs, they're gonna get hit. So we've used this on daycares, we've used this at the libraries. It is a concern that we have, and there's some precedent for the commission to asking for something like that. Now, is that specifically a bollard? Again, we don't have anything to draw, we don't have anything to look at on a theoretical site plan.
I totally understand. I totally understand that, and I guess what I was trying to delicately say is, part of the approach that we took in the negotiations with the town, is that we were not gonna completely re-engineer this and get full-scale renderings and all that other stuff. To specifically answer your question, there is an existing guardrail that separates basically the drive-through lane from those parking areas, and you can see that depicted on the plan. There's a line there, and there's a bunch of little circles. So, that will remain. So if the issue is people exiting the site and possibly veering, from that lane and hitting the staircase, there is an existing barrier there that will protect that. Perhaps your comment is more addressed to folks perhaps pulling in and out of the parking space that's going to be immediately adjacent to the staircase. If you want some sort of physical barrier, we can do bollards, we can do a brick, half wall. We are open to whatever suggestion that the commission has, and we can make it a condition of approval, and we'll just build it.
Okay. And then my last question, then I'll let everybody ruminate over this stuff, but is the use, and again, we don't know what this is, but is there an intention to have a subsurface grease disposal service? Or is it gonna be an automatic system inside the building?
We don't know. We don't know. And the thing is, we fully understand that the health district is gonna have to approve this before any building permits are approved. And if the commission wants to make a condition of approval, that we get approval from the water department and the health district before permits are issued, we're happy to do that. We just don't know yet.
I think though that actually, we can actually work together right now to figure that out. If we knew which way the sewer line goes, we would have an idea is that that's even feasible. So if the sewer line does go to the west, then that might be something that could be tied in. If not, then if it's onto Main Street, then you would have to do something inside. Second to that point, you also have to have some sort of, in addition to the dumpster, some sort of renderable grease rendering containers.
Understood.
And that's not a health department thing, that's a water pollution control authority thing.
Understood. I mean, we know that the water service is on Main Street, right outside the front of the building. I do not know, as you asked, whether the sewer main is right there. I don't know.
Okay. All right.
We're happy to address it as a condition. I'm sorry I don't have that answer for you. I
Yeah,
ideally would, but yeah, like I said, just given the fact that we didn't come in to re-engineer the whole thing, I understand the limitation you're dealing with.
It
And
is,
that we're dealing with too.
yeah, it's a challenge to look at a site plan without a site plan.
I get it.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair.
Commissioner Britton?
Thank you. Very, very exciting to see a rooftop restaurant here in Southington to match other towns like West Hartford and Glastonbury, so really excited for it. Can you just talk about a little bit I see you're gonna keep the roof drainage. You think it's going to be fine for, as it is today? How do we plan on building on top of that existing roof?
Chris, do you want to talk about the specific manner in which you're going to
We might be
accomplish
getting
that?
ahead of ourselves, but we'll just save everybody time in the future.
Good evening. My name is Chris Kolodziejczyk. I'm the owner of NK Woodworking. So,
Excuse me, could your address too, please?
501 Flanders Road in Sanctum. So we looked at the roof, and obviously there's a rubber roof on the top of the property. There is existing drains, I believe 2 of them, and they are adequate to drain all the water from that roof. So we're not planning to put any new drainage. We're gonna either repair or reuse the existing. How are we gonna build on top of that roof? And that will be probably question to engineer, because we have to engineer that.
Right.
But I'm thinking either some kind of steel structure on a parameter of, because there is about 2 feet firewall standing above the top of the roof. So we're thinking to attach either steel or wood to that brick walls, and then create like
Do you think they're gonna have to remove any portion of the roof to?
no, it's
to design it the way you want it?
relatively flat.
Okay.
I mean, it has a pitch so the water can drain, but we're not gonna be changing the roof line, if that's the question.
Yeah, that was kind of the question, and how it was pitched, and if it's gonna
It's
cause
pitched towards,
one side to take more of the brunt of the water
yeah,
versus the other.
the main drain pipe is on the corner of Main Street and the drive-through.
Okay,
So it's right there in that corner. So most of the water drains into that direction, so.
and that goes down into the ground right there, doesn't it?
I think it's because I couldn't open the walls yet because I don't own the property, but I think it's an interior drain pipe
Right,
going in probably to the sewer line.
okay.
I'm assuming, again, I can't open the walls, I
Right.
can't tell you this right now, but that's how it looks like right now.
Yeah, no, I appreciate the hypothetical, because you don't know a lot of the information until you get in there, right? So,
I can't do anything because I don't know.
yeah, we just wanna make sure you're not gonna cause any, flooding it, issues
No,
down
no,
there,
no.
too.
Listen, my way of thinking was like, the roof is existing.
Yeah.
We're not changing the size of the roof.
Mhm.
The drainage is there, the water is draining for years, so it's probably enough drainage there, so we're just gonna probably repair the rooftop membrane,
Right,
make sure so it's gonna last for a couple decades, and build on top of that, build the patio.
right.
Just to add one point, obviously the design is going to have to basically have 2 things. Obviously, there's have to be spacing so any rainwater does actually go under the membrane and out.
Right.
And obviously, it's gonna be built in such a way that any rainwater that hits that deck is going to go into that system, because the last thing we wanna have is create basically runoff off this roof deck onto the drive-through. So, and again, those are things that, once we get into the building and are able to do a little bit more due diligence in terms of the underlying structure, we can design and certainly we'll have reviewed.
No, I appreciate you entertaining our questions today. I know some of these are hypothetical, but just so we have a better understanding of the design. And then, lastly too, I see it's a standard kind of glass wall that you're proposing around the rooftop.
Yeah.
It's probably not gonna be up to you, it's probably gonna be up to whoever the tenant is, whether or not you add, shrubbery or greenery, anything to block out further sound, right? Or are you planning on doing something of a landscape design, for a rooftop?
Probably as an aesthetic thing, yes.
Yeah,
But what is gonna be actually, I don't know, because I don't know the team of the restaurant yet, so.
Right.
But we will try to find a client and work with the client to kind of design everything, and then get the proposed plans for the interior renovation, what it's gonna look like exactly, so you guys gonna know. But I'm assuming probably yes.
Yeah.
But what we did make clear to ZBA last week was that we are not proposing live music, we're not proposing outdoor amplified music.
Right.
So, you know, the sound that would be generated would be basically voices. So it's not like we're gonna turn this into, you know, a Jimmy Buffett reunion concert with the whole band up there.
Yeah.
We're not. So I hope that addresses some of the sound issues that you raised.
Yeah, and that second floor, I can see, you know, structure, I can't see much of those, but is there gonna be like a bar right there, or is that gonna be indoor seating right there? In that second
On
floor?
a rooftop or,
Yeah.
or inside?
Well, it looks like it, can't tell, you just see a wall with glass doors, thinking it's inside somewhere.
No,
On
thank you.
page 3, but on page 2, I know you guys have a rendering of.
That's interior, so,
Yeah.
On page 3, just to sort of give an idea, starting on the Main Street side, you can see there's a number 1 in a circle right above the word second floor plan. So as that line goes up, that's the exterior wall, so the bar is inside.
Yes, that's inside.
Okay, and then you can see that the exterior wall turns to the right, and you can see what will be a double window there. I think that window's actually still there. And then it proceeds again to the north as a little jog and around. So the bar's inside. It's basically the round 4 tops that are outside.
Okay. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Kat?
Thank you. Still looking at 261 total seats in this restaurant as an estimate?
It's actually, well, there's some waiting area, but the actual bar and dining seats under this sort of maxed out concept plan was 243.
Okay. And the kitchen area looks to be 350 square feet. Is that still accurate?
On this concept, it is. I understand there have been comments from the health
Yes.
district about that.
Yeah. And I mean, I am not a health department professional like Caleb, but I was raised by a chef.
Yeah.
Generally, you want about 30 to 40% of your restaurant to be kitchen. So with about 8,500 square feet of total space up and down, 350 is very small. So without a client, if you're not looking at fast casual, how willing are you to expand that kitchen area depending upon the client you end up with?
Oh, I mean, absolutely, we're open to that. I mean, obviously, that's a design issue that the operator's gonna have to do. I mean, we're largely gonna provide kind of like the box, and then the interior build-out will be in consultation with the tenant. I frankly agree with you. Just to be clear, I mean, the task that was handed to the architect was, worst-case scenario, max out this as much as you can so that we can provide to the town and to the commissions the absolute upper level number of seats that would be in there.
Sure.
So, as I indicated before, I don't foresee any scenario in which we're actually gonna wind up with 243 seats. To your point, the kitchen is small and it's frankly gonna need to be bigger, based upon the comments from the health district. So what that's gonna mean is that your seat count's gonna go down, your parking load's gonna go down, notwithstanding the fact that we have 100% waiver. Issues of sound are gonna be less, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah. Without the burners and ovens, you're not gonna seat all those 4 tops.
No, it's gonna be a full-service, high-end restaurant. That's the vision that the client has. This is not gonna be a fast casual. This is not gonna be a Red Robin. I mean, where the hope is to have this be a high-end restaurant where folks can go enjoy a really good meal.
Yeah, I would really like to have a Aperol Spritz on that rooftop deck.
Okay.
So if you're open to expanding that kitchen based on, ultimately the footprint, the client,
Absolutely.
okay.
That's
that
something
makes
that's
me
gonna have
happy.
to be done, redone, frankly, in consultation with the health district, building department, code, the whole 9 yards.
Fair enough. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I'm all set.
Anyone else? All right, that concludes your presentation?
It does, Mr.
All right,
Chairman.
so I just have a couple of questions, not necessarily for the applicant, but for staff. In the event that this was approved, you feel that building permits and, town oversight can get this to the finish line in a satisfactory manner?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. The zoning permit process will take into account all the conditions that were mentioned, and that includes the health department.
All right, do you feel that we need to stipulate anything in terms of an approval?
It was agreed to by the applicant, so it wouldn't hurt to put that on there.
All right, so I guess with that said, I'll be looking for a motion to approve Commissioner Coles with the stipulations that you were looking for.
I'll make the motion for discussion to approve. I'll make the motion to approve.
Do you want me to go through those conditions?
Yeah, okay. That's all. I mean, I could pull them out of my mind palace, but you go ahead.
I had staff approval for the lighting, so it'll be, full cutoff, dark sky compliant. Crash protection for the staircase to staff satisfaction, and grease handling to staff satisfaction.
Sure.
Did you have anything with the dumpsters?
So that was gonna be, I think that he said it was gonna be screened. I did have a concern about the swing of the doors to be, I think my concern was that it was gonna be impeding out a parking space.
Yeah, we'll make sure it doesn't.
Okay. All right, so do we need to word that, or are we good?
Yeah, as stated is fine.
As stated.
And I'll second that.
Commissioner Britton with a second. We call the roll, Dave?
We have
Commissioner,
discussion.
Hmm?
Less discussion.
We have discussion, please.
Sure.
Thanks. So, my big concern here is I'm really excited about the project, and I really want this spot to work. But we have seen a lot of applications come here, and we've denied them because we had a lot of intention of having them come back and give us a good drawing. This is very conceptual, and there's nothing here for us really to look at besides hash marks in a parking lot and a square block, and a square box. It's nowhere near what we typically accept as a good site plan. And I realize that the applicant is looking to close on the property, and I don't want to ruin that. And I don't think that this would, but I am asking for more clarity, that we ask of any applicant in any of these applications, be it an extra two garage bays in someone's house, or whatever the case may be. It's just not here. And, I know we put those stipulations in, but we still haven't seen them in a plan. And it is our responsibility to make sure that once it leaves us, I know staff can fight with them, and maybe that's a thing that happens, that they withhold the CO because these stipulations aren't addressed, but I'm just not comfortable with this drawing.
But would you say that this drawing is a lot more detailed than what we've seen, minus those couple of things that you're looking for?
I don't. I don't think this addresses, because of the complexity, and it's, there's a lot of point marks and stuff towards the hash area where the parking lot is. But I still think it's a little bit short of what our expectations are for most applications. And again, this is a great idea. This is a cool thing for Southington. But I just want to make sure that once it leaves our hands, we've done our part. And I don't think I'm not ready to say that this is done.
Okay, but do you feel confident in the staff to address the stipulations that you already stated in this rendering before final approval is given?
I certainly have faith in the staff, but I don't want to put this all on them. I think this is our responsibility to take care of first before it gets to staff. I think that, if we were to say, staff, you guys just take care of it based on stipulations, we'd be mostly out of a job, because all of these applications that we are not comfortable with the drawings on, we'd always be sending them to staff to take care of. So this one is a big one. It's right downtown. impacts our parking area. This could be the crown jewel of that downtown area, and I think it's gonna be. But I wanna do it right, and I hope everybody appreciates that.
Dave, we've had a motion. What do we do at this point?
Was a motion to approve?
There was a motion to approve.
Okay, yeah, we can call the roll if the discussion's over.
Any further discussion, or do you want to call the roll?
Call the roll, Dave.
All right, Commissioner Coles?
No.
Commissioner Britton?
Yes.
Commissioner Gaida?
Yes.
Commissioner Karen?
Yes.
Commissioner Chaplinsky?
Yes.
And Acting Chair Walowski?
Yes,
Okay, thank you.
motion passes.
Okay, moving on to item number 11, administrative items. Dave, you want to talk about that one?
Sure. There was recent approval for Northeast Winemaking. They have a large site with a large area of pavement in the back. They have a retail area within the building, as well as a manufacturing, and they see that there's an opportunity within the retail area to host certain events. So they have certain hours that their deliveries are made and what have you for their product. But they saw the opportunity to add striping for guests in that very large parking area. So we ran it around various staff, and there weren't issues with adding striping along the perimeter and a few spaces in the middle aisle there. Again, it's just striping. There's no curbing or anything like that to be added. The pavement's there, nothing's changing except some paint. And staff was comfortable with it.
Anyone have any questions?
That's another exciting project, too.
Yeah, I'm looking
We're
forward to
excited.
seeing that one move forward. I think they're pretty close to cutting the ribbon on that, if you will. Okay, so we're going to approve that administratively, Dave, right? So item 12, receipt of new applications and items for public hearing. Dave?
Yes, there's a proposed zoning text amendment for revisions to sections 4 and 6 of the zoning regs concerning age-restricted cluster housing and signage.
Yeah, so this is one that I worked with Dave on, so, but I'll be sitting out there when that happens in a couple weeks. And before we look for a motion to adjourn, I want to wish everyone the best. I hope you all have a great election day. Well, at least some of you have a great election day, but, you know, anyways, I'm sure that everything will be great, and thank you for the opportunity to work with you all. Steve?
Just real quick. Before we adjourn, I would like to hand these out on behalf of the commission and the town to Chair Hammersley. This is just a little piece of gratitude, and to Commissioner Carrot. We have a little thank you for your years of service.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Appreciate that. Awesome. Can we get a motion to adjourn?
Before you adjourn, Commission.
Yeah, it's not open to public comment.
No, so we can't ask a question about something.
We could talk afterwards. This is not open to public discussion right now. Can we get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion. Is there a second? Or there is a second by Commissioner Coles. Any discussion?